Hall of Fame, here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore. Listening to the Hall of Fame, here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
What's up, guys? Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me, as always, coming to you from ESPN 97.5, 92.5. Bring you guys inside the Hall of Fame, guys, giving you your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. And I must say, man, it's been a quick week. I mean, it's been very, very fluid, if you will. But, Brad, how you doing, man? How you feel today, though?
Yo, Book, I'm doing great. I am. It is so crazy. You know, I turned 30 last year, right at the end of last year, and it's already breaking down. It's already going to hell. I woke up 2 days ago, and I had a limp. I had a limp. And for the first time in my whole life, I had to go to a chiropractor. I said, God. And guess what I've been doing all day? This. For people out there that can hear, my massage gun.
Man, I just broke mine like that, man. I used it so much. But I'm serious, man. But now you know. Now you know.
Well, no. That's the thing. Yeah. The thing is, I don't know what I did.
You're never going to know. You probably didn't do anything. That's just age, man. Creeping up, man. You got to stay ahead of it. I tell you, man, I wake up sometime and my bones just hurt, man, and I don't want to do anything. But when I get in the gym, everything seems to fall back in place. I seem to get the momentum going back. The juices start flowing. The bones seem to have the right lubrication, and then I'm back in action. And when I don't, man, I feel like I'm old, man. But when I work out, I think that's the key, man. That's the key to life, working out, seriously.
Staying active.
Yeah,
right? Staying active, staying on top of everything.
I was talking to Charmel last week, we always talk about cardio, and normally when you do cardio, you go get on the bike, you go running.
Right.
You know what I mean? And normally, excuse me, that's working on the lower body. So we've been doing a lot of boxercise, you know what I mean? Throwing punches, you know what I mean? Uppercut, right hook, left hand, and doing that for a sustained amount of time, like 3 to 5 minutes straight, you know what I mean? And it seemed like it'd been doing wonders for me, seriously.
Well, I will tell you the cardio of boxing, I don't think is matched by anything else, because you can have not only the hands movement, and that makes your heart pump because you got to put blood in those muscles to make those hands keep going. I mean, what does the average boxer throw in a fight? How many punches you think? 1,000?
Yeah, 1,000 punches.
1,000 punches? Think about how much effort that is. And these aren't like 1,000 like light little taps. These are
Yeah, yeah,
1,000 punches.
yeah,
I mean, the
yeah.
cardio that you must have to be one of these guys is
No,
incredible.
seriously. Yeah, yeah. It seems to definitely made a difference with me. Boxer size. A buddy of mine told me about that some years ago, and I just thought maybe let me see, let me try it out and see if it worked for me. And I swear, man, it's not like being on a bike for 5 minutes. It actually, it's actually pretty comfortable. Throwing punches for 3 minute rounds. Ain't nobody throwing punches back at you. That's the key. That's the key right there. Seriously.
Well, have you heard of what is it called? I think it's called Fight Camp. You know what Fight Camp is? They
Mm.
it's kind of like, you know what a Peloton is, right? Like the
Yeah, yeah,
Peloton bikes
yeah,
where it
yeah,
has the little classes for you. Well,
yeah,
Fight Camp's the same thing. They send you like a punching bag that you put in your garage or whatever, and it has sensors in it, and then there's a accompanying class that goes with it on your
yeah,
smartphone or
yeah,
tablet or whatever that
yeah.
walks you through the exercises. It's pretty
And
cool.
just pick you up a pair of 5 pound dumbbells because you buy that machine, you're gonna use it one, maybe 2 times, and you ain't gonna never use it. You just be sitting in the garage,
You
and
know what though?
you're gonna be wondering what the
You
hell was I thinking?
you could get a great workout from the Creed game.
Yeah, yeah. I was just thinking about that as well. Because you can get in the gym, you can train, you can hit the speed bag, you can hit the heavy bag. You can get a few rounds in at the same time. You just better make sure you got a pretty good enough space to actually be able to do
Yeah.
that, because you might punch the wall and break your head or something. I was in the gym doing it. I was scared as hell because everything iron in there. If I hit my, I was scared. Let me take this damn thing off for something to happen. But no, you're definitely right. You can't get a workout.
Well, look, it's been quite a week for a multitude of different reasons. We've had some pretty big news come around regarding World Wrestling Entertainment. Vinnie Mac is back. Stephanie McMahon has resigned from the company. She was going to reignite her leave of absence and said, "I'll do you one better. We're going to resign from the company." And there's talks of a sale. If you listen to the internet a couple days ago, it was all
We're
but
sold
sold.
already. That's the part that gets me, man. These reporters, man. I mean, the company was sold. I mean, Saudi
It was
Arabia had
over.
already bought the company. That was the rumor. That was the word out there. And that's just crazy when people report that kind of stuff. And then now we find out it's not true, and they say Saudi Arabia is still in the running as a potential buyer for WWE. And if that happens, man, it happens. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and dwell on it happening or anything like that. But it seems like so many people out there just can't wait to see the demise of WWE. And I know those are a few. That's just so fair. I mean, the internet seems like it's a whole lot, sometimes because you see the comments, you hear the comments, and then people, saying this, saying that. But my thing is, man, if Saudi Arabia did buy the company. You know what I mean? With that, throw a monkey wrench in things. One thing I have noticed. You know me. I love golf, and this Live Golf Tour has come on the scene. With Phil Mickelson and a few guys, Dustin Johnson, a few guys jumping from the PGA, moving over. Um, you don't see a whole lot of advertising on the Live Golf here in the United States.
You don't see any.
For a minute. No, when they first started, they showed some highlights on ESPN, and they probably paid them $1 billion to show those highlights. You know what I mean? And the thing is, the highlights were so bad because wasn't nobody at these events, so they probably paid them another $1 billion to stop showing it. You know what I'm saying? But it does seems to be, as far as the support for the Live Golf, as far as the PGA. It's a vast difference here in America just because of the tie with Saudi Arabia. I would think. I don't know, but the players that they have are they have some top flight players, but you don't hear nothing about the Live Golf Tour. So I wonder, what would a sale to us, a country like Saudi Arabia do for WWE? I just wonder.
I I actually think it would negatively impact the company because Live Golf Tour wasn't able to secure television rights because of some companies and corporations and television and media conglomerates saying, look, we know that y'all are playing sports, but the people who own you, the Saudi Arabia Public Interest Fund or whatever it's called, it represents a country that in a lot of ways is behind the times. And this is not an indictment on the citizens by and large of Saudi Arabia, but more so on the governmental agencies who, look, what was it? 2 years ago, we got a big hype package because they said, you know what, women, y'all could drive finally. You know what I mean? That was the big celebration. Let's just think about how far behind a country has to be in just in terms of equal treatment for the genders and wherever else, right? So I think for those reasons, some companies would be a little bit wary of aligning themselves with a product owned by that particular country.
I
I
mean,
mean,
not just potential sponsors, but the fans. A lot of fans
just
are.
fans as well.
Well, the
Some of the
thing is,
boys.
the fans are they're gonna just talk. It's just gonna be a continuously a news cycle going on about this, that, whatnot, and the other. So that's where I think the optics, more so than anything, is not that great of a look. But we got to take a break. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Will Alday versus Cameron Cole. Texas champion versus reality of wrestling champion. Years in the making. Ex-best friend versus ex-best friend. I know what I'm getting into. I know you're one of the most exciting, high-flying wrestlers in the business today. And for every punch you have, Will, I know the counter punch. Long ago, the years where we used to train together, and I remember every move. I remember everything in your arsenal, Will. So what is it gonna take? You see, for me, I'll do whatever it takes, and you're gonna find that out, Will.
Will Alday versus Cam Cole once again. But this time it's gonna be different. It's not gonna be best friend versus best friend now. It's not gonna be me looking in your eyes knowing that at the end of this, we just wanna see who the better man is. Yeah, let's talk about that match. And Cam, I knew getting into the ring with you then, how good you were. Cam, I know now that you're even more dangerous. But Cam, you strayed. Ever since you and I faced in that last match, a year ago, something changed. And you started walking down this dark path where you would do anything to win, Cam. And you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like weakness.
Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. We're just chopping it up, talking a little something about WWE and what's going on in the news, what's been going on all over the internet. I just love saying it like that. But I don't know, man. Like I say, WWE right now has been as strong as it's been in quite some time over these last couple of months. I must say that. Right now, the stocks are up. Right now, it's a whole lot of talk going on out there. Ask me personally, do I think the company is going to sell anytime soon? I'm going to say no. All right, that's just me. No, that's just me. As far as the company selling anytime soon, that's within this next 365 days. I don't see that happening. Okay, I just don't. You know what I mean? Because a sale of that magnitude, it's got to be so many, T's crossed and so many I's dotted. I can only imagine the money involved in a sale like this. It can't be something. It ain't like going buy a car. It's not like buying a house or anything like that. I would imagine. I would think. I've never been in this position before or anything like that. But I do not see it happening within this next 365 days. I could be wrong, but we'll be talking about it a year from now. Let's just say that. If they don't. If they don't. Here's the thing. With Vince McMahon's return to the company, part of what I've been reading, and again, who knows how accurate some of these reports may or may not be, but he's coming back for the express purpose of selling the company. Now, what does that mean? That means Vince, who retired last year for whatever reason it was, whether it was because of the scandals that were going on or because he felt pressure to, for the betterment of the company, whatever the reason was, he retired away, right, and went away. Now he's come back and he's saying, I want to sell this company. I want to make as much money as I can off the sale of this company and then ride off into the sunset. But I do want to stress this. Just because a company sells
right? Or a popular franchise, because that's what WWE is. It's a franchise. It's a shield like the NFL, like the Houston Astros, like the Chicago Bulls, like the UFC. Just because a company sells doesn't mean it goes away, doesn't mean many things change on a major or macro basis. It just means that somebody else is signing the front of the paychecks. Now, those people can do with what the company whatever they want, but I look at the UFC. When WME bought it, did a whole lot change? I mean,
No,
really?
not at all.
Dana White was still the figurehead.
Yeah.
Lorenzo Fertitta and his brother made off like bandits. They made a couple billy for themselves. But other than that, for the most part, everything stayed on the regular beaten path. When Les Alexander sold to Tillman Fertitta, the Houston Rockets, not a lot changed, right? Not a lot changed. And I'm saying all of this to say to the fans out there who are concerned about where WWE goes, if sold, and if not run by someone with the last name McMahon, I would say don't worry about it too much. I really think that it's going to be Vince has put his entire life into this company, as has everybody who's worked at WWE in the McMahon family, Triple H included, yourself included, people like Michael Cole included, and Michael P.S. Hayes, and everybody who's worked at the WWE for so many years. Vince isn't going to just sell it to somebody whom he doesn't believe is going to have WWE's best interest at heart. Because at the end of the day, this is his baby. And if he wants to sell it, it's his prerogative. But I think that we're making a whole lot of, really a whole lot out of nothing. In my opinion,
it's not a whole lot of nothing. I mean, this is big news. I mean,
it's big news that it's sold.
Even a potential sale of WWE, that's news, man. That's a lot of.
No, I'm not saying it's not news, but I'm saying like why are we so concerned about it?
Well, it's I don't think you and we're that concerned about it, but it's a lot of people out there that this stuff drives their narrative every day. They can't wake up and go to sleep without thinking about this kind of stuff right here. And you know what? I get it. I totally understand it. But this is my take on this, Brad. I don't know the money situation of the McMahon family or anything like that. That's well above my pay grade. Me wanting to know. That's just not what my head is. But I would think that the family is okay. Okay, as far as no serious. As far as money go, I don't think they're going to be needing to or having to get a loan from anybody anytime soon. Just because I feel like they're okay as far as money goes. Vince McMahon is this dude been around a long time. He's 77 years old. I would think, he's got enough money, to be happy, and I don't think billions and billions of dollars is going to make him even that much more happy because it's not. It really wouldn't. It would, it would secure the family life and legacy for years and years to come. That's something that family generational money that they'll never have to worry about. But owning that company, the WWE, I think is something that is generational wealth in itself as well. And for that to be passed down to the kids, for the kids to be able to do with whatever they want to do with that, I would think that's what a dad would, that's what I would do if I was a dad. You know what I mean? If it was my kids, if it was Kendrick and Kennedy, I would be thinking about, building this thing up as big as I possibly can. So one day they could do whatever they want to do with it. Just like his dad passed it down to him and he took it over. That's the way I see it. That's why I don't see it's going to be, it could be a whole lot of talk about a sale, but at the end of the day, I do not think it's going to happen. Not anytime soon, if it does.
Well, there's a long list of potential suitors other than just Saudi Arabia. Other names include Comcast, Netflix, Amazon, Endeavor, Warner Brothers, Disney, Fox, Tony and Shad Khan are potential buyers of WWE, and the list goes on and on. Nick Khan recently met with Bob Iger, who runs Disney, the Walt Disney Company. So who the hell knows? I mean, it could get sold within the year. It could not get sold, right?
Well, the thing is, if it don't get sold within this next 365 days, everybody who was reporting that WWE was sold, they just gonna have a whole lot of egg and, stuff all
Well,
over.
they already do, right? I
No,
mean,
but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? That's why I say with something like that, I'm not going to stick my neck out and say something like that if I'm not 100% sure. If I don't have proof in front of me saying, man, this the real deal right here. I'm not going to say something like that. That's why I say, for me, just by the way I feel about that family and what they have built over this past 30 years.
mm-hmm.
You know,
More than that, or almost,
yeah,
well, yeah, 30, 40 -ish,
40
something like
years,
that.
40 years. I just don't think they're going to be willing to just, give up the golden goose and walk away from it. I just don't. I just don't see that.
Yeah, and you might very well be correct, but I'm like you.
It's not like reality wrestling. Somebody come to me and talk, the right money. I sell reality wrestling yesterday. You know? But this is a little different. It's a
No,
little bit different. That's why I feel like it's gonna take a whole lot. I mean, the money is there, especially with someone like Saudi, someone like Fox, someone like Disney. The money is there, but I think it's gonna have to take a hell of a deal to get that deal done.
I agree with you. And WWE, I think, is probably worth more than the UFC was worth at the time of its sale, and it sold for $4 billion. So I'm thinking at least double that.
Oh,
When you look at what WWE's worth, it might even be as much as 10. And you gotta be the right company and the right money and the right circumstance. But I will say this: I'm like you. I'm not going to stick my neck out and say a sale is imminent. I'm not going to report that they sold to Saudi Arabia and send the internet ablaze. I think that whomever started that, and I can't remember his name, how irresponsible of somebody who calls himself a journalist to perpetuate something that was just a rumor.
somebody looking to break a story, man. Somebody looking to get, some clicks. Somebody looking to go viral. And that's pretty much what happened with that story. It went viral. And then, after backtrack it, nobody really cares about the backtrack. People really they latched on to that, man, like a pit bull on a bone, man. It was like everybody, is talking about my phone was ringing like crazy, like I had just got fired. I'm like, what the hell happened? You know what I mean? Well, I didn't even want to answer the phone. That's how much it was ringing. I'm serious, I mean, is that John Laurinaitis calling me? What the heck? But no, man, it is irresponsible, but that's what the internet is
Well,
really all about.
This is for all of you prospective wrestling reporters of any kind or of any ilk. I want you to think about this before you post next time. Remember this phrase: get the news out as fast as you can, but as slow as you must. Right?
That is, yeah. I like that. I like that.
As fast as you can.
Make sure it's accurate. You know what I mean? Make sure it's
Yeah.
verified. Don't just put something out there. That's what I always talk about when I say these so-called journalists.
Right.
Those are the guys I'm talking about. And that's not even my field, but we're not going to put anything out here inside the Hall of Fame that we don't know that's 100% true. Everything's allegedly when we do talk. No, I'm serious. When we talk about anything, I'm serious. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
What's up, this Booker T, two-time Hall of Famer. I know you're checking out the shine, checking out the gloss. I want to thank you guys for checking out Row on YouTube. Hey, don't forget to click and subscribe to check out all the latest content right here each and every week. Now, can you dig that, sucker? Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Guys, we're getting close, man. We're getting close. But I tell you, man, there again, this week has been on fire. We got any super chatters, Brad?
We do. Let's get to the super chatters first before we move on, because I do want to talk about the return of Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole,
baby.
Yeah.
But we have this from Michael Edwards, who said, "Hey, Book and Brad, what do you guys think of your Texans firing Lovie Smith after him winning the game and costing them a #1 pick?" There has been a lot of chatter about this one, Book, on if Lovie should have been extended more of a chance than just a season with a less than adequate roster. I know Stephen A. Smith said, or I think it was Michael Irving who said, if I was a black coach, I would stay far away from the Houston Texans after their treatment of Lovie Smith.
Come on, man.
I'm curious.
Come on, dog.
I'm curious to hear
Come
your
on.
thoughts. Now, look,
What kind of treatment? What was the treatment?
I guess not giving him a fair shake.
He got a fair shake. I mean, this guy should have lost that last game without question. I mean, come on.
I agree.
That's not even a question whether we should have lost the last game or not. We wasn't going nowhere. We had won one game. We had tied one game all season. And we're about to get the #1 pick, and we go out there. Who cares about that game? I mean, they should have fired him for that alone. Forget about what he did this season because he didn't do nothing. Only thing Lovie Smith did the whole season was groom his damn beard. All right? I'm serious. That's it. You know what I mean? He had the best beard in the NFL. Okay? That's it. As far as producing, I'm not going to throw this. I'm not going to play the race card or anything like that because I would have fired him. I would have fired him too. I've been saying fire Lovie Smith for the last, 8 weeks.
Yeah. Well, but this is what I say. I think out of the, what are there, 30-plus teams, 32 teams in the NFL, I think there's only 2 or 3 that have black head coaches. I think now 2. Should there be, a little bit more? Should we have given him more of an opportunity than one season with a less than adequate squad?
I can't. I'm not going to sit here and say what the situation was with Lovie Smith in the Houston Texans from an inside perspective. I don't know what's going on in the front office. That's just not my thing right there. But I'm looking at it from the outside looking in. I was one of the guys who said James Harden need to get the hell up out of here. James Harden,
yes,
being one of the best players in the league, but not being a team player, not being a guy who was willing to go out there and be a leader, which was the things that I saw in James Harden, which prompted me to say, man, we need to get this guy up out of here because he's not doing anything to help us when he had the chance to. Same thing with Lovie Smith. I'm not going to throw the race card in this or anything like that. That's not what this thing's about. This is about producing results. And one thing Lovie Smith did not do this entire season is produce any results. What am I thinking he's going to do next season when he just lost the #1 pick? What kind of confidence I got in Lovie Smith as far as going out there and being a leader for my team when he went out there and pretty much fumbled the ball in the last game? I'm just saying. I'm not going to pull the race card with Lovie Smith. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah. Look,
should there be more black coaches? Hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
More black coaches. Is there more black coaches out there adequate to be NFL coaches in the NFL? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It is. You know what I mean? So that's another story for another time. No, James Harris.
Oh, James Harris. No, who's James Harris?
Was one of the first black quarterbacks for the Los Angeles Rams back in the day.
No, I didn't know that.
I come from that era. You know what I mean? I come from the era of Warren Moon playing for this team.
Of course.
And getting released when I didn't think he should have gotten released. You know what I mean? So I've been around a long time as far as black people being in the game of football or any other sport, for that matter.
Yeah, and we're seeing, and we can go on about how there needs to be more representation in the NFL overall in all accounts. I'm not even talking about as far as the head coaching goes, in the front office, decision makers, ownership. Black ownership needs to be something in the NFL. But I will say, I'm in more agreement with you in this Lovie Smith example because at the end of the day, we got to look at what you were able to provide the team. And we didn't get to anywhere. We were actually worse this year than we were last year. And if you go down from year over year, it shows the leadership isn't good. Now, does that rest solely on Lovie Smith's shoulders? No. It rests on the players. It rests on the front office, the general managership, the ownership. It rests on the whole organization. But we know how the game of football goes. The game of football goes, if you screw up the season, the head coach gets fired.
And the thing is, somebody could come back and go, well, should they fire Jeff Saturday? I don't know. You know
Yeah.
look, I mean, that's apples and oranges, but somebody can come back with that and say that. You know what I mean? Just because Jeff Saturday came in, and the team didn't do as well, but he came in like on short notice. You know what I mean? Didn't have a full season to build. All that it really wasn't his team until you got the team. It's one of those type of deals. So that's a totally different deal. But I do know somebody would bring that up. That's why I wanted to throw it out there.
Okay, we have another super chat here. I skipped it. Where'd it go? Oh, P Serious says, did AEW take a L for Sasha not showing up after hyping a tag match with a surprise partner for weeks just for it to be Tony Storm? I know it was a rumor that Mercedes Moné was going to show up as a surprise partner, but that was more of an internet rumor than anything AEW did and anything Mercedes did. So I don't think either one of them took a L.
I feel the same exact way, man. I was going. You took the words right out of my mouth. I ain't even gonna speak on that one, man. But that's what the internet does. You know what I mean? Hype up something like that and make the fans feel like that's something that perhaps will happen, not could happen, but will happen. Story already been written. You know what I mean? As far as a lot of those internet fans. But my thing is, no, I don't think AEW has anything to look bad about or anybody else as far as Mercedes or anybody. I know we got to take a break, man. We got to take a quick break. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back. We'll be back in a Shoop! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. And guess what, guys? The Shoop t-shirts are on the press. Not hot off. They are on the press. The design, I must say, is sweet. So, guys, Shoop shirts coming at you real soon.
The Shoop shirts are coming soon. I believe it when I see it.
All
right,
man, the Shoop shirt's coming.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I just wanted to get one out there for everybody real quick. But go ahead.
We got more super chats. This one is from Breland, who says, what's up, Brad? What are your top 5 WrestleManias? I think that's a lot. I would say I like WrestleMania 5 with the Megas Powers collided. I like WrestleMania 10 because of Bret and Owen in the ladder match. WrestleMania 17, one of the greatest ones of all time, Austin Rock. And then after that, it gets a little cloudy for me.
What about Taker and Michael?
Taker and Shawn, 25.
Yeah.
25's got to be on there.
Yeah.
And I guess the first WrestleMania I ever went to in person was in Texas Stadium at WrestleMania 32. That one, oh, you know what? This year's was a lot of fun. If I'm talking about just my favorites, this year was fun just to see Austin and McMahon and the Jackass guys and all that stuff. That was a lot of fun WrestleMania. Maybe 30. What were we on? 38? Was this 38? 38. So there you go. Those are my answers. What's your favorite WrestleMania that you participated in, Book?
I don't have any, man. I don't have any.
You were going to say WrestleMania 22 you were on the poster for with you and John Cena and you wrestled Boogie, right?
Yeah, I never really think about WrestleManias like that, man. I just remember the moments as far as the matches, as far as the people, not the matches, really, the fans and the atmosphere, the aura, everything that was surrounding, WrestleMania more than anything. But as far as favorite moments, WrestleMania moments, I really don't have any. Seriously.
We got Callie Tono who said, I'm glad to see everyone. I didn't know if the FCC was going to let us back on after Nate tore the house down. LMAO. I wasn't sure either. But I wish I could have super chatted, is what Callie Toenail says. Well, Callie, you're always welcome, man.
Yeah,
Way to get Rick when Rick was ready. You know what I mean?
Nate was all the way live too, man. I must say, man, I was so happy with the interview, and like Brad said, we better win a damn award at the end of the year with that one right there, because it definitely was a highlight for me in my career. Seriously.
So it was one of the great interviews, and we've gotten a lot of great comments on the channel. We really appreciate all of them. Some say it's the best Ric Flair interview they've ever heard. But I do want to show the people this. I don't know if they can see it, but you see all these little numbers on this sheet that I had scribbled down. That was every edit I had to do for a Ric Flair curse word. He had it at 44, 45, 44, 12, 45, 12, 46.
Oh, man, I wanted to stop him, but I said, "No, that's Nature. It wouldn't be right if I tried to change."
You couldn't have stopped
Nature Boy Ric Flair. I couldn't do it. I said,
"No,
just let it ride." Seriously.
Hell no. But we got a lot of clips coming out from the Nature interview. So if you didn't watch the whole thing, we're gonna have clips coming out, the rest of the week, so you can check them out, because like I said, it was really special. It was one of those things where I almost just sat back. I almost forgot I had a mic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just sat back. I was like, wow, listening to the stories of him and you and the two of you's relationship was great. There's got to be nominated for something here. But we got No Contendo, who says, just got here 10 minutes ago, but I hope you're willing to give VKM the proper criticism he earned. A sale/Saudi Arabia is disrespectful, North Americans. There are more assaults on women to surface, bad for morale. I don't disagree. I mean, like you talked about, just how people.
We just finished talking about that. He said, give VKM the proper criticism he's earned. And there again, that's the internet rumor that the company was sold to Saudi Arabia.
Right.
And if it was something that's true, we'll be talking about it. We'll talk about it. If it happened, we'll talk about it. But until it happens, we're not going to be one of these sites that just want to throw shade on AEW, Vince McMahon. That ain't me. Okay. I know a lot of, internet, fans that love AEW seem to think that every time I say something about AEW is negative. But it's not. I can say something about Jay Cargill and they could find some negativity in it no matter what. I can say something about MJ. They'll find, but my thing is this: I'm not going to sit here and just tell stories if the stories aren't true. This is the Hall of Fame. This is the real deal, and that's the bottom line on that.
100% facts only on that one, because, like you said, we don't need to give Vince McMahon or WWE any criticism, because again, no one's been sold yet. You know what? But here's the thing: if WWE does sell to Saudi Arabia or whatever, we're gonna have our opinion on it.
And the thing is, if you would have got in quicker than 10 minutes ago, you would have heard our opinions.
Rewind it, all right?
Exactly. You would have heard our opinion about what's going on with that. But no, we ain't gonna sit back and try to cover anybody. We like a lot of people say, man, he's a company man. Well, I am a company man because I work for the company. Okay, so that part is true. But as far as kissing ass, we don't do that inside the Hall of Fame.
No, sir,
not at all. But what we got, Brad?
We got Brooklyn Brian, who said thoughts on MJF's promo last night on Dynamite. He did a promo on Kim Jong and Freddie Prinze Jr. Reminded me of The Rock when he called out celebrities, but Rock did so in a baby face way. MJF.
He buried those guys, man.
He sure as hell did, especially Freddie.
No, I'm serious. He buried. And you know what? Freddie Prinze, he needs to be buried. You know what I mean? No, I'm serious. Freddie Prinze. I like Freddie Prinze, but sometimes some of the stuff Freddie Prinze say, it kind of, I go, I'm like, what is he talking about? And I know a lot of people say, when I say stuff, what is he talking about? I get it. You know what I mean? But MJF was totally on fire. And was it warranted? Hey, you got to talk to MJF about that. But did I like it? I loved it. Real quick.
Yeah, let's try to get through these real quick. Booker T, your thoughts on MLW suing WWE for blocking fair competition like Vince McMahon blocked?
Ain't nobody got to block MLW. I'm sure everybody at MLW, all those guys waiting to get a call to get a contract. I'm sure. And if I'm wrong, okay, I'll take that. But if I was in MLW, I'd be trying to get to WWE. It's just that simple. So I don't think that's a question. Move on. Next one.
Our next one is, hey, Book, just wanted to know if you think these guys would be a good fit for WWE. Nick Aldis, Matt Cardona, Jacob Fatu, Alexander Hammerstone, or MJF. Any of them WWE material according to you, Book?
You know what? I think all those guys be good. Hammerstone, I love. I don't know. He might have a problem with the wellness test. That's another story. But Nick, Nick Aldis, he's a veteran. Matt Cardona, Jacob Fatu, one of my guys. I love to see Jacob get a chance, get a shot at the big time, because I know he'll make a huge impression, a big splash, and not because he's a big guy. He'd make a big splash in the WWE. Seriously.
What do you think? We've talked about Nick Aldis. Matt Cardona's been there before.
I said Nick Aldis. He could make an impression. People talk about, I said Nick Aldis is past his prime. Okay. And I said that because Nick Aldis is not 25 to 35. That's when you make your most money in this business, right? As far as making your name from 25 to 35. Nick Aldis is just making it to the big time if he was to come to WWE at 38 years old. That right there is past his prime. Can he make a difference? Can he make some good money? Oh, hell yeah. Sign him up.
All right. This is from Algernon the Absurd, who says, is there a Hulk Hogan interview in the works?
No, we will not be interviewing Hulk Hogan ever on this show, ever again.
We did it once.
We had him once, and that was enough.
Okay. Legacy 4L just doesn't say anything. And I think we have one more. Dana White canceled John Jones / Francis Ngannou. Is there a pattern?
I don't know, man. I don't know those guys' situation, man. I know Francis Ngannou, he wanted more money. He wanted a lot of money. I don't know what John Jones' situation is. They've changed pay-per-view locations for this guy on the same weekend. Okay, so
literally,
I can't. I'm serious. You know what I mean? So I can't say. I don't know those situations, so I really can't speak on those situations. But hopefully we'll hear something soon as far as Ngannou, as far as Jones goes, because I want to see those guys fight. Two of my favorite fighters.
Oh man, John Jones he's been flirting with this heavyweight stuff for a long time, but it's been a lot of talk.
Time running out, man. Clock is ticking, man. Sand in the hourglass. It's running out.
It's almost gone.
It's running out quick. But man, we got any more super chats? We got to wrap up.
No, we got to wrap up.
We got to get out of here, man. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame today. Getting your champagne, wishes, caviar dreams. I'll be back on Tuesday night. Of course, NXT. Oh, it's going down. Can't wait to get back, man. But all you guys in the comments, man, we appreciate you guys. Seriously, we really do. All you super chatters, as always, man. Much Wakanda love on that one right there. Wakanda love on that one right there. Bradley, as always, I appreciate you for doing all the heavy lifting, especially since you've been living around lately. But we got to get up out of here, y'all. Next week, same place, same time. Peace. We out. You dig it, sucker?
You are listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.